I fell for one of the largest baits by Blizzard of all time, and this one was about the expansion, Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred. So a while back when they were teasing the Vessel of Hatred, they had done a campfire chat, which is Diablo 4's dev chat, where they go up there and kind of just say what's to come, what are they currently working on, etc. But during that campfire chat, there was a leak or pseudo leak, basically a preview of something that was to come in the game. In fact, I did a whole video about this called Did Blizzard Just Have a Major Diablo 4 Leak, in which we went over some of these new items. Now in this video I show, did you see this? Plus 200% damage to angels and demons. Now part of this is like, okay, plus 200% damage to demons makes sense, but plus 200% damage to angels is a weird thing to have on there. Now you might just think, all right, well this was just flavor text or, you know, a bit of an additional meme on there or something like that. But during the Q&A portion from that campfire chat, this was how they responded here.
Sorry, if you have additional details, there's a lot of questions related to one of the mythic uniques, and it's additive damage to demons and angels specifically. I don't know if you want to talk about
I will confirm that is the wording on the effect.
So, you know, everyone's kind of, you know, hamming it up there, giggling a bit about it. It's like, well, we can't talk about that. You know, yep, I can confirm that's on there. It's like, okay, all right, so it's something. All right, now before I go any further, I should tell you, while this isn't, I'm not going to be having major Diablo 4 expansion story spoilers in here. I'm going to be talking about related to the campaign spoilers. So this is your fair warning now before I dig into this. And I also want to say this now as a prefacent for all this, a prefix, a preemptive, I'm running out of pre-words here, okay? Basically, Diablo 4 is in its best state it's ever been in. The game is legitimately really fun right now. Spiritborn is quite good. The progression feels better. I'm enjoying the game a lot. I did 26-hour live stream, had a great time. So I want to say this right now for the people that are wondering, like, how's the state of the game? It's actually quite good, in my opinion. It's quite good. This is was my opinion on the early access, but I was kind of like, okay, well, I only played it a few days. We'll see how it goes. Played it again on launch. I'm in like Torment 2 already first day. Blasting, feeling good. They fixed a lot of the material acquisition issues that was in the early access press release, stuff like that. So I'm actually having a good time. I want to say the positive thing first before we get into the absolute bait that occurred. Okay, so with that out of the way, yeah, here we go. We have the damage to angels there on the thing. They're all like, oh, damage to angels. The expansion's coming, baby. Play through the story not once, but twice. And not only that, but I played through all of the Diablos in a row in order to get myself, you know, up to date on the lore because of this. And I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna, you know, let's see where the lore could fit in. And there's actually some tie-in from Diablo 3 related to the lore of the Nephilim are becoming a problem. Like the angels are kind of not liking them, you know, and then there's the Anarius and Lilith. And Lilith maybe she's kind of right. So like you're thinking about all of this. And then not only that, but on the same item, it says, slaughter enemies to briefly steal Lilith's favor. So it's like, okay, well, hey, maybe Lilith was right. Maybe we choose to go with her. We all that. So how, with all this, okay, and all these little like teasers and things about us versus angels, and maybe there's something in the story. How many angels do you think that we run into in the campaign, either good or bad? Let's just, how many angels do you think? Ready? I'm going to give you a few seconds. 0. There's no fucking angels in this entire game. On top of it, how many of those 0 angels do you think we end up fighting? It's 0 once again. And how many of those are mobs, not just story? It's 0. You get the point? An angel doesn't show up literally anywhere in any of the story. So I thought back to this item, and I'm kind of like, wait a minute. You know, what the fuck? Now, I could actually understand if maybe this was in the base game, because there's actually angels in the base game, but in the expansion, they don't even show. I mean, there's not even an Anarius who's on your side where you can make the argument you don't even like him. You know what I mean? And maybe you do want to stab him, and maybe this, you know, it's a flavor text. It's just, you don't even need the flavor text. There's literally no angels anywhere in the expansion. So now I think I understand the laughing a little bit. It's not, oh, we're laughing, oh, wait till you see the expansion. It's gonna be good, man. You guys are gonna, it's a giggle because it's actually a giant troll. Like, you could just say 200% damage to demons because that's what it is. Like, there's actually zero reason to have bonus damage to angels. It doesn't make any. Maybe it's a looking into the future kind of thing. Because again, minor story spoiler here. The story isn't exactly complete. It ends without a really, in my opinion, a satisfactory conclusion to even what's going on in the story itself. So maybe, and I've seen someone point this out, maybe what they're going to do is drop storyline like within the season, where it's like, okay, season 7, new story, season 8, new story. Maybe it's like a Destiny type of thing, World of Warcraft type thing, like they're adding onto it as it goes. I actually really hope that is the situation, because in my personal opinion, I don't want the conclusion of the story to be another expand. Like, we need to conclude the story we're telling on this portion of the story. Which brings me to another point. There's another bait, actually, that sort of happened that I was kind of like, well, what the fuck is that, too? So, again, another story. I'm giving you guys a million spoiler warnings in this because the game is, only 2 days out, and I don't want to bother with the comments. Oh, my God, you're spoiling. Yes, here's another spoiler for you. Warning again. But you guys remember this from the teaser trailer here? This is like Mephisto is you can see, Nero's in the middle, and there's like Mephisto's growing huge. And I saw this and was like, oh shit. Like maybe the Dark Citadel raids or something, or like each one of Mephisto's arms, like we're gonna fight this giant Mephisto thing here, okay? Like there's this huge mech warrior boss or something. All right, you actually know what this is? Do you want to know what this is? I actually don't know what it is because it's not in the game. It doesn't, I don't know. This is literally from the ending cinematic. They show this, but that's actually not what ends up happening to Mephisto at all. So I have no idea what that has to do with literally anything. So you see that, and you're like, oh shit, you get hyped for the expansion. Angels, hyped for the expansion, both of them don't happen in the game. So I have a lot of really positive things to say. I actually think, like I said earlier, I'm going to reface this again because this is just about a bait that happened for the expansion. The expansion's actually good. Spiritborn's actually good. Mechanics are good. Progression's good. I'm having a fun time. Log in, boys. Okay? I'm seeing pretty positive reception from everywhere. But this cinematic bait and this Angels bait and sort of like this story bait that happens, the shit literally doesn't exist in the game. There's two arguments that can be made, both of which I do not like. One of which is this is a philosophical cinematic in which Nero is being succumbed by Mephisto, and Mephisto is growing. And that is what this is supposed to represent. Okay, well, kind of don't like that. I thought it was an actual thing, like a physical representation of the Mephisto we're going to fight or showcase or anything. But that's one argument that legitimately could be made through the story. The second argument to be made, since, again, this is the cinematic they show when the game concludes, but this actually isn't what happens to Mephisto because of reasons in the story that I'll try not to spoil here. But yeah, that's not him. So if that's the case, and then this cinematic that was the preview trailer cinematic that was used to showcase and sell this expansion is actually the teaser for the next expansion, which is the second expansion. So I really don't like that one. So in conclusion, my feeling is good job on on rebalancing the power structure. Good job on making the game fun. Good job on the Dark Citadel. Dark Citadel was easily the first thing that came out where it's like you did it first shot. You don't have to rebalance or change anything. You just did it. Good job. But please do not, when you're selling the expansion or something, please don't bait shit that literally isn't even in the game. You don't have to do that. The expansion's good. The expansion's just good. You really don't need to do that. So I kind of think that that's in a learning lesson, please don't do that on further expansions. I was not very happy when I found out Angels was literally a troll, and that Mephisto thing has basically nothing to do with the game other than a philosophical argument. But pretty funny. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, wait a minute. This kind of doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's about it. I thought it was funny and wanted to share. If y'all want to come on by, you can. There's free cosmetic drops going on right now. And of course, there is macro. I'm not even going to call them microtransactions. There's macro transactions for most people gift subs. You can get the horse in the game if for some reason. It's just an excuse to support the streamer. If you wanted to do that, you can. It's super expensive and not worth it, but I'll be alive. All right, have a great day.